Hey yo guys, this is Fatty Food Market Failure by Ziwa Wang, Cody Deng. So, what exactly is the market failure for fatty food? So pretty much we die after we eat heaps of fatty food. Oh well, market failure of fatty food. A few years ago, the fatty food was quite popular in the world because it's fast and delicious. But recent years, people started focus on healthy food. Most of consumers would like to buy more healthy food. Therefore, market demand start changing, and fried food market slowly become failure. Although fried food is still delicious, but obesity would be classed as a demerit good, as the good is over, period, by the market. The market over previous provides goods like fast food, junk food, and fizzy drinks because they are cheap and tasty. Many people buy them. This is a market failure to accurately price the cost of consumption. Never mind, because the correct pricing will be higher. The market for fatty food fails because there are negative externality of consumption. Well, no one understands that, but okay, I'll explain later. This means that there are society costs, it should be social costs, that impact third party result. The market fails because the private market / individual doesn't take into account the society cost on the cost of fatty food consumption to society is greater than to the private consumption. This can be seen on the graph later. As the MSB is lower than the MB curve, the shaded area represents the social cost, which is the dead weight loss. The fatty food gives people health problems such as diabetes and make them to go to the hospital. Hospital is government funded, meaning that the taxpayers pay for these hospital problems. Third party. Who is third party? Yeah, that's right, you peasants. Evidence. Eating fatty food appears to take an almost immediate toll on both short-term memory and exercise performance. Studies have suggested that long-term consumption of a high-fat diet is associated with weight gain, heart disease, and declines in whatever this is, function. But the new research shows how in whatever this word is, in fatty food over the course of a few days can affect the brain and body long before the extra pounds showed up. Fatty food appear to have a short-term effect on exercise performance because the body reacts to high fat content in the blood by releasing certain proteins that make the less efficient. Fried foods served in fast food restaurants are often cooked by whatever this oil, which are high in trans fat. Many restaurants use these oils because they give food a satisfying taste and crunch, but they are not good for you. Trans fats release bad LDL, lower good HDL levels, and raise your chance of having heart disease. Obesity is a huge problem that affects countries all over the world, and unfortunately, cases are rapidly increasing. Food has become more substantially cheaper over the last few decades. And blah 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 blah, high in fat and sugar, costs government and taxpayers huge amounts each year, has around 30,000 people die each year from obesity conditions, blah blah blah, yep. So the policies. Policy 1. Fatty tax. The definition of the fatty food in our report is the percentage fat included in per 100 gram of processed food, pre-cooked, and non-organic food. Our policy is basic on the fat per 100 gram included to add the tax. After plus tax on fatty food, the consumption would be decreased because the fast food become more expensive, such as deep-fried potato chips. About 12.5% of chips by weight is fat, and that ain't natural, so it's the absorbed fat from frying process. I would hazard that the outside crisp layer is very high fat content. Must be Cody wrote this. The grammar is terrible. Okay, this is our graph. And now you can see this is the negative externality and dead weight loss right here. Okay, you see? This graph should be clear. If you can't see it clearly, that means you got bad eyes. And this is the tax. Now we can increase the tax by its fat/oil content. If the oil content is higher than 5%, it will get an additional 2% of GST. If it's more than 10%, it will put on an additional 3% of GST. If it's 20% of oil content or higher, it will get a 4% additional GST. So the deep fried chips market will be charged an 3% of GST. Therefore, the dead weight loss will increase by the rising percentage of the GST, but the additional social cost, which caused by fatty food, will decrease by the percentage, because when the price rises, the demand in the fatty food market will drop. This is the demand law. So there will be less negative externalities on the third party, such as less people will have health issues and spend more of their income on tax treatments. Policy 2. Government subsidy. Well, now you can see this graph is so much more clear, isn't it? As you can see, after the government subsidized the healthy food market, the market of fatty food price drops and the quantity demand drops too. The government subsidy could influence on vegetables, fruit, meat, especially free-range chicken, eggs, dairy products, and organic products. This main problem is when New Zealand, in winter and bad weather conditions, might result a decrease in supply in the vegetable market. Therefore, the price will be more expensive during the winter. The main prevent way oh my god, as to subsidize the farmers to reduce the produce cost. The government can also increase the demand in importing of healthy and organic food, so the healthy food becomes more affordable even in winter. They will also have a deadweight loss due to the government subsidize the healthy organic food market, but the social benefit will be obvious as the percentage of consumers' health issues are decreasing. Also, the government could provide the fees, subsidize the film companies for documentaries which shows the disadvantages of fatty food and the advantage of healthy food and the effect on the human bodies. Okay, now comparison between two policies. Comparing between taxing fatty food by percentage or subsidize the farmer/producers on healthy food. First, both solutions creates a deadweight loss in the market. Second, both solutions can reduce the social cost. By government subsidizing the producers of healthy food market to decrease their price in order to make the vegetable/organic food a healthier and more affordable substitute for fatty food, so the consumers would have a wider range of selections of either healthy food or unhealthy food. So the consumers become more healthier and will be seeing the benefit over time. But the fatty food market make their product taste good, and most importantly, they're extremely convenient. Fast food, cheap, tasty, and convenient, of course. No dishes need to be done afterwards, and easy to carry around, such as Pizza Hut. This internationally well-known fast food brand. In New Zealand, it only costs $5 for a delicious hot pizza in a paper box, which comes to you in 10 minutes after the purchase. It's all designed for the consumers. It's time efficiency problems. Here, I swear, I'm not doing an advertise for Pizza Hut. Thank you. But subsidizing healthy food market does reduce the social cost over time because consumers can choose fatty food over healthy food for their personal needs. Therefore, the fatty food market is still allocative efficient. But by putting on tax on fatty food, by their fat content can rise up the price straight, which cause a decrease in demand in the fatty food market in an extremely short period of time, such as a sausage roll from Jack's Bakery. If the price increased from $2 New Zealand dollars, to $2.50, some of the students might need to start considering if they should just pack a lettuce sandwich from home. Making the fatty food less affordable by putting on extra GST will cause a further deadweight loss in the market, but the social cost will decrease in a short period of time, which makes the market successful. Conclusion: the main reason causing obesity and health issues is the underpriced and overconsumed market. Someone didn't type that up, not my fault. The consumers would prefer the government to subsidize the healthy food because there are no extra costs for the consumers to purchase in fatty food market, and in the other hand, the cost of healthy food is more affordable. But what, Cody? Explain to me. You gotta explain to me how did this happen. Oh well. The University of Otago released a survey report that there will be 2 million obese people in New Zealand in 2028. The average BMI of New Zealanders will increase from 26.4 in 1997 to 28.3 in 2015. After 2030, this index might break through the 30 mark. In 2015, 1.1 million New Zealanders were considered to be psychologically obese patients.